Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Uno Ott's channel. I am Uno Ott. I got a request from the last video to kind of go over, I guess, more of a review and whatnot of my diesel heater. As I stated last video, I have installed that diesel heater. I think it was like late November, early December of 2024. I have been using it just about every weekend of the snow season of going up to the mountain. So I'll usually run it for about 2 to 3 days per weekend I go, and I roughly run it for between 12 to 14 hours. That's mainly because I'll turn it on whenever the sun starts going down, even before I climb back there, just because I like to climb into something that's nice and cozy. So that usually, what is that? I think it's a, hold on, man, let me take a look. So it says it's a 10-liter tank. So, and I could be wrong, but just doing a quick math, that's probably almost 3 gallons, right? So that has lasted me, well, it lasts me all weekend without an issue. I usually have leftover, and then last weekend I made a mistake. I forgot to top off my diesel tank before I went up to the mountains. So by this day, this would be the 4th day on the single tank, and I started running out at 4 in the evening, or afternoon, I guess technically, and it ran out of diesel about 6 a.m. So I got roughly about 4 days out of a single tank of running it for about 12 to 14 hours at a time. And I do run mine on the lowest setting. So the reason for that is because I got one of those, 5 kilowatts diesel heater, which for the area I need to heat, it's more than what I need. I think I could have got away with the 2, but since I already got the 5, I'm gonna keep running. All I did to combat that is I cracked the window in the middle of the night. I have slept in this thing in negative-degree weather, and I've been nice and warm. Now, I did buy mine off of Amazon during Black Friday, so I got it for like $80, which was a hell of a deal. I love it. I use this thing a lot. But we'll go ahead and start off on the outside here, and I'll kind of point out some of this stuff and one of the things I didn't like. So there we go. Starting off on the outside, notice the way I mounted my diesel tank right on the side of the topper. I drill holes, put bolts through it, put some plates. Yes, I put duct tape over the vent hole there because in the middle of the night when it's raining or got snow on it, I didn't want to get water in my tank. I am going to be purchasing like these little cap things that screws in here for the vent, so you could close it and open it whenever you want. I just haven't gotten it yet. So, and then that kind of brings us to the number one flaw in my opinion of this, that the gasket that comes into this cap sucks. It swells up, doesn't seal right. It constantly slosh diesel and stuff out of your tank while you're driving. I'm still working on trying to find a better gasket O-ring solution and whatnot. I just haven't quite found one yet. And then down here, I drilled, that's hard to see. Down here, I drilled a hole for the fill line to go into the cab, which we'll go in there in a second, and then we'll come down here. And I decided to go with this exhaust mount because, one, I think it looks a lot cleaner, and that's pretty much it. I think it looks a lot better. Now we're gonna go underneath. All right. So yes, I had to drill holes in the bed of the truck to get the exhaust running out. Got the fill pump right there. There's the fill pump there. And then of course I got the breather here, which looks like I need to, there we go, tuck that back in. Oh, and I still need to fix that. That came off of my wiring harness for some reason. But you can see all my harness and stuff. All right, now we're gonna move to the inside. Okay, now coming off on inside the truck. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Had to squeeze in here. So I had to mount the controller here because when I had it up on the wall over here, it kept falling off. And this is all insulation, so it's like styrofoam in here and whatnot. And so not a really good stuff stud, I guess you could say. So put it here, mount it down. Now it stays pretty solid, doesn't come off. It's on the one level. Could get up to 10, but if I have it up to 10, it throws a hot code and it will put it in the safety mode and shut it off. And got the line running down behind my stool along along here, which you got zip tied down, and then it comes in right here. So there's the bolts for the back of the fuel tank. Behind this insulation here, I put metal plates on the back side of it to distribute the weight and get a better tight, or tighten it down better. And then of course my fill line comes down into there. And then back here, it's hard to see, I have like 2 little small holes, for one for the hose and one for the power. Or no, I didn't do the power, that's right, I ran it underneath the mat just for the hose. And then I have the holes for the rest of the unit. This is the intake. The intake actually seems to work very well in this configuration. Let's see, cut down the hose because heat rises and stuff, and it would get too hot with that hose aiming directly at me laying on the cot. So I have it aimed towards the bed of the truck, especially since this isn't insulated, but it works very well. Still keeps the inside warm, and you can still adjust it if you need to. The only other problem I have run into with this diesel heater was just the way I mounted it, kind of thing. My curtain blinds, whatever you want to call it, got caught on the intake, which was causing it to roll cold. So that's why it kind of looks like a hack job, because it was in the middle of the night and I noticed that, and I just cut it with a pocket knife so it wouldn't suck it in. And then I usually keep this window kind of cracked open at night, just because it will get so hot in here that it's like in the middle of Texas summer heat. It gets so hot in here, so I'll leave the back window cracked, and just cracked it about 1/2 inch to 1 inch, and it'll still keep the whole inside of this cab warm. But overall, and I have this running off of my 100 amp hour battery, and I have yet to have it kill my battery. And I will leave it running, like I said, about 12-14 hours each run cycle. And this thing has been amazing. I know other people have had issue with these diesel heaters, but I've been running it, like I said, every weekend for this 2024-2025 snowboarding season. And I love it. Highly recommend it. Obviously, you need to mount it to where it works, because I have seen people use those travel ones in a suitcase and stuff and had issues with them. But yeah, the only issue I ever had was when I ran out of diesel, and that's just operator error. Once again, my name is Uno, and I appreciate you guys watching. I know I'm not very good at talking to the camera and whatnot, and I don't really plan out ahead of time what I'm going to be saying or how I'm going to say it and whatnot. So obviously, if I miss something, or if you want me to point out anything more or go more in depth to something, hey, feel free to let me know. I have no problem showing you guys my setup. I'm not saying it's the correct way or the only way, but it definitely gives other people more options. So I have no problem showing and talking about how to do stuff. Thanks for watching.